Hello and welcome back to the Man's Kitchen. It's me, James the Man's Man, and today we're gonna do another video in our barbecue / cookout series. And Labor Day happens to be next week. What do you need when you have your Labor Day party? Well, I've already given you all kinds of options for main dishes, but what you need are some good quality sides. So today we're gonna make some coleslaw and some pasta salad. And we're going to start on that right after this. Alright, and we're back from that intro. Now, if everybody could do me a favor and click the like button if you like this video. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and ding the bell icon so you get notifications from YouTube. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, that way you can get notifications when I post cool pictures and behind the scenes content. Alright, and now we're going to move on to our ingredients for today. For our coleslaw, we're going to keep it simple. We just have a nice cabbage out of the garden. My mother-in-law, camera wife Heather's mom, does a community garden at her church, and this is one of the this is one of the cabbages that they sent to us. I'm going to put a carrot in it, and that's going to be it. To make the dressing, we have some vinegar and some mayonnaise. We're going to do a pasta salad as well. We'll cook up half a bag of penne. And then over here I have onion, celery, carrot, which makes a standard mirepoix. I have peppers, tomatoes, and cucumbers, along with some Italian dressing. Now, if you need to know how to cut up any of those vegetables, you can make sure that I've got you covered. You can click on one of my videos, I'll link it up in the description or over my shoulder here on how to cut vegetables. Alright, I think our water is just about to start boiling and we're going to get going. We're going to put half of this bag of penne in the water and we're going to get started on the rest of the stuff while this boils. I meant to do that. A little bit of salt in the water. Half a bag of pasta in the water. And we're going to use this whole cabbage, and you know what, my trusty go-to knife is too small for the job. We'll grab out a 10-inch chef's knife and we're going to cut the cabbage in half. Now would be the time to inspect to make sure that there's no inner rot. See how it kind of looks like a tree here? You have like a tree stump almost, and then you got like some big branches. So we're going to take the knife, just like you're cutting an A, and that's going to reveal and remove. Okay, if you're not comfortable working with it this size, by all means, quarter it. If you have a meat slicer, you can also do it on that. Otherwise, if you're going to do it by hand, then remember to keep your fingers down, your thumb behind your fingers, and keep your knife resting on your knuckles. When you hit the cutting board, you want to just give it a little bit of a forward to make sure that you cut through all the pieces. Okay, my piece fell, and that's fine. I'll just rest it on the side, whatever side gives it the most surfaced area, and I'll continue to slice it. Now I'm going to get a bowl, and I'm going to slice the rest of these up.
Okay, so while camera wife Heather was recording this for me, she accidentally bumped the button for the microphone and knocked it off, so there is no more audio recording for this video. So we're going to have to deal with a voiceover for the rest of it. And basically all I did there was I cut the cabbage in half after I cut it lengthwise. That was a little faster that way. And now I have it in my mixing bowl. I have way too much of it in the mixing bowl. I'm going to find out in about 30 seconds after I salt it. And the reason that you want to salt it is that way it's going to help allow some of the moisture to come out. And really, you want to do this actually the day before. Just I didn't have time with the way our weekend was to get this done the day ahead. So actually, I'm going to split the cabbage now into two separate bowls. I'm going to add a little more salt to it. And I'm going to add my vinegar. Now you can do the salt and vinegar together day before when you're making the cabbage, the coleslaw. That's no problem. Just want to make sure that you mix it up well. Just mixing. Now we're going to take this carrot and we're just going to grate it right over the cabbage there. We're going to grate it in halves. We'll do half over each bowl. So when you salt the cabbage the day before, it's going to draw out a lot of the moisture and it's actually going to cause your cabbage to shrink. Tomorrow I should have half the overall volume that I started with today. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to post on Instagram before and after pictures of the coleslaw so you can see just how much it shrunk overnight. So we're just going to mix up the cabbage and the carrot. You could also add some red cabbage. You could also add some thinly sliced onions. And if you're going to do that, if you happen to find the thinly sliced onions to just have a little too much of an oniony bite for you, you can always soak them in water for about 20 minutes before you add them. Now, camera wife Heather asked for a creamy coleslaw, and you could just leave it as a vinegar coleslaw. There's nothing wrong with that. But in this case, I'm just going to add a little bit of mayonnaise, and we're just going to mix it up. So yeah, again, basically, in between scenes, she accidentally bumped the cord that attaches the microphone to the camera, and it came loose without actually coming out. So she didn't realize that there was no audio being recorded for the rest of the video. So I apologize that you have to deal with a voiceover. The other option was to just reshoot everything, which would then result in me having way too much pasta salad and coleslaw around the house. So yeah, there you go. We're just mixing it up still, trying to incorporate the mayonnaise throughout the entire mixture. And now that it's mixed up, I can put it all back in one bowl. Then, since it's all back in that one bowl, that's how we can put it away in the fridge. And I think that's what I'm explaining now. I almost wish that I wrote out scripts before I did this, so I could maybe try and read the script and see if I could get my words to line up. But that might have been a lot harder. Oh, and I remember tasting it and saying, tastes pretty good, nice and creamy, not too salty. And basically tomorrow when I lift it out and put it into a smaller bowl, a lot of salt's going to come off of it. There's going to be a lot of drip. Alright, so I have the pasta, the penne, finished, and I've drained it. That's it. I drained it and I cooled it off with cold water. Okay, so now that I have it drained and cooled, we're basically just going to be adding the ingredients because I happen to have them already sliced up. And since I did do other videos in my Kitchen Basics line, that way I can skip ahead and I don't have to show you how to slice vegetables every video. So you can see that I've added my carrots, my onions, my celery, peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers. It's all just dumping it all in. That's all you need to do. Now I have a bunch of vegetables in my pasta salad. So in this container that I liberated from the restaurant is some Italian dressing, a little bit of salt, not too much. I probably have about a teaspoon in my hand there, and some Italian seasoning. Now it looks like a lot because I'm basically covering the top, but now you have to mix it up. So just make sure your hands are clean. I did wash them with soap and water between scenes. For those of you that get grossed out by people touching your food, in a lot of restaurants, this is what happens. Health boards actually don't like to see you use gloves because most people mistreat their gloves. It's actually, if you put on a pair of rubber gloves, you must wash your hands before you put on your rubber gloves, and you must wash your hands when you take your rubber gloves off, and you must wash your hands when you change rubber gloves. So they really only like to see rubber gloves if you're covering a bandage because of how much you have to wash your hands anyways. And most people don't wash their hands as much as they have to when they wear rubber gloves. They get into a false sense of security. So anyways, now that I have everything all mixed up, we're going to top it with some feta cheese. And you could layer the cheese in. You could put some of it in, mix it up, and then put some more in. Another trick you could do to get feta flavor throughout it is you can actually pour in a little bit of the brine that the feta cheese comes packed in. If you're going to take this to somebody's house for Labor Day coming up on the weekend, you might want to put more of the feta cheese on the top so people see it and they're impressed by it. By mixing it throughout, it doesn't look as impressive, and sometimes looking good is what you want it to do. So now you can see that it's finished. I'm going to scoop a little bit out into a bowl here so I don't eat directly out of it since there's so much there. Okay, and there I'm going in for a bite. I'm going to go back for a second bite, I think. I can tell you that pasta salad that we make at the restaurant at home is usually very consistent. It's got a lot of rich, deep flavor. One thing you can do, though, if you wanted to add more flavor to it, would be to add some pesto. For that amount of pasta salad, I'd probably go with 2 to 4 tablespoons, depending on how much you'd like to add. So I'm probably saying something along that effect. And now I'm reminding you that Labor Day is coming on up. So there's a whole bunch of barbecue cookout main dishes that we've done in the weeks before this. And now we've done 2 different side dishes that you can prepare for your weekend. If you want to like this video, I'd appreciate a like button hit. If you liked this channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get notifications when I post videos, you have to ding the bell icon. Also, if you want to get behind the scenes details, pictures, and that kind of stuff, what you need to do is you need to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. At least that's what I think I'm saying right now, because I'm starting to get a little animated, and I'm pointing, and I think the video's over.